Hello everyone, welcome back to Python programming course. In today's lecture, what we'll be learning is we'll be going through different data types, starting from string, then list, then tuple, then dictionary, and then we will move forward to functions. Sorry. So let's get started with strings. By definition, you can see that string in Python are stored as individual characters in contiguous location with two-way index for each location. And one more thing, that is a data type. It stores characters and it stores character in contiguous locations. It follows two-way index and is immutable. You can't do in-place changes in a string for that. So this is the basics of the string. Now let's understand, or let's see that how uh, it is two-way index and how it stores its elements in contiguous locations. I'll open the code editor for you so that you can have a better look for. So now you can have a look on the screen. I'll just exit it once and clear the terminal so that you can have a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. Let's zoom it out. So this is the very first example using the string Python. So this string is containing 6 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, starting from P, then Y, T, H, O, N respectively. The way it can be indexed is you can use string 0, it will give you P, string 1, it will give you Y, string 2 as T, and so on. So this is the way you can get output from this string. This is the syntax how you can call a particular index character from a string. Now let's try to implement this. I'll select all of this and I'll paste it in terminal. So I'll activate the terminal. I'll create a string pose which will be initialized like this. And if I paste it, here you can see one behavior that whenever we are calling string 0, the 0th index, it is giving us P, which is the first character, then so on till n, which is the sixth character, and its position is n minus 1, which is 6 minus 1, the fifth index. The first character is the 0th index, and the last character is the n minus 1 index, where n stands for the length of the string. You can, whenever you want to get to know that whatever is the length of the string, you can use len function and you can write whatever string name you are having. So if I'll try to call this, it will give me output as 6 because the current length is 6. This is terminal, hence I'm not printing it. It is by on its own giving out in the terminal, but whenever you are using this mode, you have to use print so that you get to know that okay, something had to come. So this is how you can do it. Now we are done with the indexing of string. Let's move forward towards negative indexing. So negative indexing, the very last element starts with -1, or it can be n minus 1. Then we have the first index is minus n itself. As you know, that the negative indexing is minus the length is 6, so the negative index of -6 is nothing but the first element, which is p itself. You can observe it in the terminal also. So this is the behavior of the string whenever you try to manipulate it with the help of its index. Now we will learn that item assignment is not supported in strings till date, that it is an immutable data type, hence you can't do any changes and you can't try to force feed a value to a particular index. Now let's try to implement traversing of string. So traversing is nothing but whenever like how do I explain? Like traversing is refers to like whenever we iterate through each and every element um, of a string, that one character, whenever we go through each and every character, like here we are going through PYTHON on the terminal. If you will see, we are index iterating over these elements manually for now. So whenever we iterate over certain elements using loops, then we call it traversing. So as I taught you earlier, using for loop you can achieve it. If I do string, then I write my name for now. And if I want to iterate over its element, then I can use for whatever variable I like. Or instead of range for now, I can use string. And if I print I, the value which will be getting stored in with every iteration will be the zeroth index character, then first index character, then second, and so on, like this. If I run this, I have to close it first. I'll clear it. I'll do python demo.py. Here you can see RASHABH. So this starts from the zeroth index and end till the last. Now you can achieve this using the len function also for I in range. As I taught you about the range function, it takes the stop value, so length of string if I do it, and instead of I, if I do string I index, if I run this, I'll achieve the same output, which is the reshift. I have taught you that negative index is also supported in range. So I wanted to start from -6 into -1, comma, then end value, which will be 0, then -1. Not -1 actually, but +1 only. No? So yeah, so this should give us HBAHSIR. No, no, no. This is not giving us that because what I did right now is what I'm generating I as -6, then -5, then -4, then -3, then -2. So -6 is what? -6 is the H element. So hence it won't it is -1 and R is the -6. So hence it is not working like this. And so to make it work, actually it is -7 instead. And like this, -1. This is R, this is I, this is S, H, A, B, and H, like this. So to make it work, start index should be -1. So end index should be so the step should be like this. If I do it, the numbers will be getting generated as -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -7, like this. So whatever string I'll be passing, it will keep on doing its work. Perfect. So now we can clear it. So we are done with item assignment is not supported. So whenever you try to do it, it will throw in type error, which is that object does not support item assignment. Let's try to implement that also so that you can have a better look over that. So I'll create a string. I'll write some words like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. And if I do string, let 0 index should be, so 0th index is 1. I want to make it 0. If I do it, you can see type error string object does not support item assignment. Traversing of string we have done. So that's how you can understand string operations now. So we'll start with string operators. What are the different operators and which can be used in string? There are mainly two operators. One is the concatenation and another is the replication or the repetition. So as the name suggests, the concatenation operator, it just concatenates two strings. It falsely adds two strings and gives a new string. Let's say string one I have as string one and a white space so that it looks much better when we concatenate it. It's string two. If I do string one plus string two, the output string is string one and the whole string one is still here and the remaining space is string two. So this is the concatenation operator, the plus operator. Whenever we use it in strings, it behaves as a concatenation operator. Now we'll be learning about the multiplication operator or the repetition operator. So whenever we do numeric into or even into some float value, we get mathematical expression. But whenever we use this operator, the repetition operator over a string, we get those many times the repetition of that string. So string 1 into 4 if I did, here you can see that it is giving us what? A whole long string 4 times, which is being repeated 4 times as initial pass to the string 1. So these are two operations which can be performed. Now we will be talking about membership operators. So in previous lecture, I told you that in and not in are the membership operator. It tells whether a character or an or a collection or any literal belongs to certain group or not. For that, we use membership operators. So it can be used in strings also. You can use in and not in to confirm whether a character is present in a string. So let's say I will create a variable name, pass value Rishabh in it, and I'll try to check whether it have C in it or not. So for that, print C in name, print S not in name, in and not in. These are two ways. So if we see manually RISHAVH, so C is not there, but S is there. So the estimated result is what? The first output should give us false, and the second output should also give us false. So if I try to run it, I'll get both results as false because S is there, but we are asking whether it is not in. So of course it is in, hence it will give us false. So I'll clear it and I'll run it. And you can see it is showing this. But if I change the places here, if I make it not in and I make it in, then both of them will be true. Because C is not present in name and S is present in it. Hence, this is the result. Now we will be uh, studying about comparison operators, that how comparison operators can be used. So this is the operator which equates to string to ask whether two strings are same or not. So to have a quick look over this, to clear the terminal, I'll open Python. Now I'll generate one string, string one as Rishabh, and string two as Kumar, and string three as Rishabh again. Now here you can see string one, string two, string three. They are same or not? Of course not, they're not equal. So if I do string one is equals to string two, it is giving me false because they are not same. If I do length of string 1, here you can see it is giving me 7. If I do length of string 2, it is giving me 5. If I do string 1 greater than string 2, what will happen? Will it show us a result or will it throw an error? It is showing me true. Why? Because string 1 is actually greater than uh, this or something like that. Of course not. This is not the actual reason. The actual reason lies behind the ASCII value. So if you do the ASCII sum of this and ASCII sum of this, let's create a uh, S1 as capital A and S2 as small a. The length of S1 will be 1 and length of S2 will be also 1. If I do S1 greater than S2, what do you guess? Will it give me true or false? So my guess is it will give me false. Now, why it is giving us false? Because S1, the capital A character, is equivalent of ASCII 65 and the small is equal to ASCII 97. So you need to know ASCII character sets, right, for to understand this. But for whenever you're dealing with Python, it is not much necessary. But to understand these behaviors, you should have an idea that this concept exists. So whenever Python is comparing two strings, it start with the very first character. So here it will check whether k is greater than r or not. So it will see, oh, k is not greater than r. It's true. Then it will check I is not greater than u. It's true. It will keep on doing till till the end element, and it will like compare it and give us the result. Like this it works, and so this is how comparison operators work in it. And whenever you want to check whether two are not equal, you can use this, of course, as string 1. It is giving me true because string 1, string 2 are two different strings, but whenever I do string 3, it will give me false because these are same strings. Here you can see. So these are the way you can use comparison operators over a string. Moving towards the how we determine ASCII Unicode value of a single character. So you can use odd. So and you can pass the character. So here you can see it is giving me the character, and you should make sure that you are passing only single character, not multiple characters. If you will pass multiple characters, it won't be of any use because it will give you an error, which is odd expected of character but string of length 2 found, like this. So this is how it works. String slicing. So as we learn in range, that range has its stop value, then it has start and stop, then it has start, stop, and step. These three are the different ways you can use it. Likewise, in string slicing, we also have the same concept till now. So the idea is, instead of using the syntax is like this, whatever the callable object name is. For now, let's create str1. Now name it my name again. Now, whenever you want to do slicing, you can use this. And whenever you want to add start, step, and all these things, you can use these colons. So this is the syntax. So by default, whenever it is empty, it will consider it as the starting index it will consider it as an end index, and this will be its step. So whenever I want to reverse a string, I can make it step -1 and it will make it reverse. And whenever I want to, let's say I want only odd number characters, so I can do what? I can do this. So our first, like mathematically, visually, if you see 1, 2, 3 like this, then it's odd, but index wise it's even. So that's don't get confused with it. For now, you can use step like this. Whenever you want particular index like string 1, we will make it like this. Now, if I do 0 to 5, what are we expecting? We are expecting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because the idea is as same as the range function. So we can use it. So likewise, you can use it. Now if I write only the single character, it will take the output of that character itself. Like at the first index, whatever the character is stored. If I do string 1 and I want it to start from second index, actually the third index, and then till 4. If I do this, I'll get 2, 3, and 4 like this. So this is how you can use indexing over whenever you want to do string slicing. So these were the methods you can use it for. We have learned concatenation, repetition to kind of in place changes. Then string slicing, we learned how comparison operators work on the ASCII Unicode values. Then the odd function to get the output of the ASCII value. It is being stored like this. You can do now. Hmm. So these were few functions and methods which we learned for strings. Now we will take in account what will happen if we pass a value which is greater than the index. So if I do string 15, you will see string is not okay. String, I haven't declared string, it's string 1. So string index out of range. What does it mean? That the index which we are asking the Python to give us, it is not there. It is beyond or out of the bound. That's why just showing this error. So that's why we are getting an output like this. If I do string 1, and I do 15, 16, here you see we are not getting an error. We are getting an empty string. This is one very beautiful behavior which Python gives whenever you are uh, taking us like the whole range, it will give you an empty string whenever it is out of bound or out of range. It won't just throw you an error. So this is one interesting behavior. You should make a note of it. It is special. It's unique. Now we will learn a string function. So whenever you want, you can either use the len function directly or you can use strlen. Then len, if you do it, you will get, you should get, just give me a minute. Len is indeed a function, but it's not working here. I don't know why. Hmm. The another function you can use is just the len function, and then you just pass the object name as within the parentheses, and you will get. So let's say if I make another raw equal, let's say I create a function. Then if I do str.length and call this method, it is showing that string object has no attribute length. But this should work. Oh, okay, yes. So this is basically the JavaScript syntax. I got confused. This is not how we find length in Python for strings. Uh, len is the function which you will be using whenever you want to find the length. Sorry for the confusion. So let's move forward. Uh, yeah, there are multiple methods which you can use whenever you want to manipulate strings. So there are X object name. I'll clear the terminal so that you can have a better look. Now I'll create another string. Here you can see Rishabh is there. So whenever you want to capitalize it, you can use this method. So it will do what it is capitalizing. Okay, so I need to make a string like this. And now if I call this, here you can see it is giving Rishabh in all small. But if I do capitalize here, you can see the first text is being capitalized like this. Even like that. There are multiple methods. So let's say if I create a slogan like I love India, I love my country, I love India. If I do this and I do slogan dot capitalize, okay, there's a typo here. Slogan dot capitalize. If I do so, it should give I capital, rest all the characters small. But the thing is, will it make India also small? The I of India, will it make that lowercase or not? We need to see this. Here you can see that is being done here. So what do we understand? Whenever we use capitalize, the capitalize will make the first character capital or the uppercase and later on all the smaller case. Now if you do upper, like, and also you can use dot find, like there's a method called find. So slogan dot find if you will use, so you can uh, store the value of anything which you want, like, and not store but you can like search it, like I will do slogan dot find. If I do India, if I do so, it will give me 10. If I do slogan and if I do 10, you can see the capital I is being shown to me. That means that India is present there, but the I of the India is starting from the 10th index or from 0, the 11th index it is, and on number it will be 10, like the SIGPUF. Then there are multiple other ways like is alpha, is digit. This these give us like Boolean values which you can use to create programs whenever you are using if else block. Whether you want to check whether some, let's say there is a there is a user, you're asking it them to enter a phone number. So you want to check whether the phone number they are giving is digit or what. So for that you can use is digit method. Just name of the string dot then is digit, like for now the slogan we have or my name string one dot is alpha. If I do here it is true because it is alpha only. Then I can use alnum. It will ask whether it is alpha and numeric both. Then is digit will give false because there is no digit. Come on. So whenever you want to check whether user is giving only digits only. Now, I want phone number, they are giving characters like name characters. It won't work. So for that, I want I need these methods. These are the pre-built methods you can use. Now, if you want to create strings, if you want to make a string uppercase, you can use this dot upper. If you want to make the string lowercase, you can use dot lower. If you want to make title, like you have a in your database, you have a list of all the books, and whenever you want to display it on the menu, you want like it should be a title view, then you can use title also. It won't look good here. If I use it on slogan, then you can see a tremendous change. I is capital, L is capital, my India, everything is capital. Every initial of the word is capital. So these were few methods which we have covered in this portion. There are other multiple methods. I'll show you one important method which is split. What it does, it splits these character and it gives us a list after doing the splitting. By default, split is there is a white space. So let's say I take this. Let's we can use it on slogan itself. So if I do slogan dot split, it will give us a list where I love my and India. All these are getting separated. Let's say I want to separate it using the small I. Well, I won't do that. That is quite risky. Let's do it with V because it's not coming in our nation's name. So I'll use that now. If I do so, slogan instead of slogan, let's use it on my name itself. My name it's stored in string one. So if I use it string one dot split instead of split, I pass a particular character like I want to split it with the I. Or well, I have renamed it so it will be smaller. So here you can see R is different, SHABH are different, and that character is now not in front of us. Then we also have swap case. In swap case, we pass uh like we pass we not pass anything, but whatever we pass passing anything, whatever is uppercase become lowercase, whatever is lowercase becomes uppercase. Like this it works. Then we can have count. We can also count few alphabets. Let's say you want to count how many R are present in my name or how many H are present in my name. I'll do this simply. Then you can see two. So how many H are present in my name? There are two. R I S H, one H, A B H, another H. Two H's, it gives us two. If I do for let's say I don't have C in my name, it will give zero. Perfect and beautiful. So these are few methods you can which we learned in today's lecture. Now we will move forward towards list, which is a mutable data type. You can do in place changes and lot more things. So if you want, just DM me on Instagram. I will share a drive link which have all those different methods you can use with strings. If I get much more time, I'll create another lecture for this, practicing few question over this. Or in the upcoming lecture, I'll cover it. Don't worry about it. If you want it urgently, I'll just DM me on my Instagram. I'll do the needful. Now let's get started with lists. So list is a standard data type of Python that can store a sequence of values, and another it can store any type of data in itself. In list you can store a list itself. In a list you can store a numeric integer string. Then you can store a floating value. Multiple different values you can store in it. So that's the very first thing we should learn how we can create a list. Now we are getting started with list. So I'll clear it and I'll write list here. Okay. Before that, I need to open Python and I'll just open this thing. Now let's start getting started with this. So this is the comment which is not being read by the interpreter. So whenever you want to create list, you can mainly use four methods. One is uh, overall you can use three ways. The one is you can just take a reference name. So I'll take it as L1. You can use square brackets like this. So this represents a list. So if I do type L1, there you will see it is giving us it belongs to the class list. Now another thing is you can pass values to it like this. Comma separated values it shows. So you can initialize another list like this. If I type find the type of it, you can see it belongs to the list class itself. Now the third way is you can create them using the list function. So sorry. So you can use the list function to create an empty list. So let's say this is L4. No, not L4. This is L3. You can use this, and if you do type L3 or before that, I'll call the L3 because you should know that it is an empty list. L1 also it is an empty list because we didn't pass any value, just the square brackets. L2 contains the elements which we gave to it. All these are list. Another way is by input. You can use the list function in with the help with the input to generate a list with the keyword input. But the thing you should keep in mind, you don't have the freedom of of separating numbers at that time. You can't just separate numbers like, okay, I have 121, I have 130, so I want to keep 121 separate and 131 separate. If you want to do so, you can't do it because whenever you are using it, the list function will treat each and every character as an individual new character, and hence it will generate every element different. So I'll show you so that you will understand what I'm trying to say. So this is L4. We use no, we have it. So we will use L4 now. L4 then list input enter some elements. If I do so, my name is Rishabh, I'll enter Rishabh. Now if I call L4, here each and every element is being separated with is being considered a different element. Let's generate L5. Now I'll write this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I call L5, here you see that each and every element is what? It is a string type character. And for for that you should use type function wherever you have any confusion. So L4, L5, let's do L5. L4, first element, which is a second index. So it's a string type character. But what if I want to convert it? I can use map function. So map is an inbuilt function. You can use map. Uh, so this is map. We need to map what? We need to map the integer function map int over f5. So this will create an object and we need to use lists to see that. If we call L5 right now, it's still there. But now if I do like this, L5 list, and then if I map it now, it will update the L5 with integers. If now I call the type L51, it will give me integer because I typecasted it with the help of map function. We have map, and likewise we have another function which is not in current much need. Now, as I taught you in string, you can use split. So let's say I want to ask user to enter their remarks. Let's say I have a database. I want users to enter their, let's say we are working in a school or in a university. A student have 5 subjects. Each professor needs to enter marks. Now, it won't do you think it would be much easier for the professor to enter a Excel sheet or a CSV file which is comma separated values, which is being separated with commas to store the value along with the relevant data which is required. So for that we can use the split function. We will use split and we will ask it to split the string wherever there is a comma. That's how you can manipulate it. And whenever you will split it, you can split it further whenever, let's say, 100 then 198, 95, then a comma, then 100, uh, 84, then 89, like this. These are 3 subject marks of 2 students. Like this, you can do it. You can use split here. So let's create L6 and input L. So we are have to use, we will do input first. Then we'll ask it to be splitted with the help of comma for now. We will do what? We will use map over this. We will typecast it back to list, and we need to do typecasting with integer, let's say. So if I do run this, so I need to enter values with comma separated. If I do this, we are seeing an error. Let's understand what we are dealing with. So it is showing that map must have at least 2 arguments. Okay, I have passed integer to the list instead of to the map. So let's correct it. That's one syntactical error we did right now. And you need to make sure that you are not using parentheses whenever you're calling the int object. This is not the correct syntax. This is the correct syntax. You will write int without parentheses. If you will do it, it will show another error. Let's here you can see that it's not callable. So hence you need to make sure there is no parenthesis. That's one of the common mistake most of the users fail to find, because I was one of them. I was unable to understand what was going wrong because I used to keep passing on the parentheses with the data types. So be aware with it. So this is how you can use map over list. Now let's understand what a list. So list and strings have lot more common in it. That's why I taught you this, because you can use split only whenever you have a string there. So let's move towards string. We can create towards the list. Sorry. So we can create an empty list, a list with values. Then with the help of list function itself, then we can create it with the keyword input. Then we can use split function. Then we can typecast the data type also using the map function. We learned these things in the starting of this lecture, not this lecture, but before in the starting of this portion of the list. Now we will be understanding what are few similarities between lists and string. The very first thing is the length and the indexing. Uh, the length, indexing, and slicing is as it is exactly the same in string and list. So whatever the input will be there. So let's say I create my name. I do this. Sorry. So if I do this, this is my name. Right? If I call this, here you can see I'm getting this. But what if I do len dot, not len dot, length of name if I do, here you can see it is giving us 7, exact the same function. You can use for I in name, you can do iteration, print I and RASHAPH. If I want to print name in reverse order, this thing, negative indexing, negative slicing, RASHAPH in reverse. And then you can also use membership operator. It R in name. True. Small r is not there. It will result in false because it's case sensitive. We are done with length, indexing, slicing, membership operator. Now we have the same, the concatenation and the repetition. So name we have surname. Let's make surname A U then M A and the final R. Name the surname if I do so. You will see Rishabh Kumar as a whole, it is showing as a single list, but it is not doing in place changes. If I do name dot join surname, it is showing that list has no attribute join. So, uh, because there is no join name attribute there, but I'll tell you one way that you can do in place change, how you can do so. But for now, let's say instead of Kumar, if I want to make it, let's make Rishav as Rishav. I want to remove that H from there. How I can do so? I can use a method called pop. So what does pop do? It just removes the last index element and it returns it back. So I can use name dot pop. It will return H, and if I call name again, there won't be any H. But whenever you want to add an element, you can use append. I want to append H. Okay, I haven't. This is the correct syntax. Now I call it back. The H is back because I added it. First I removed it. That's why it got removed. Later on I added it. It got added. So these were the basic methods you can use to remove an element or to add an element back. Now we will get into the depth of different list operations. Okay, we didn't perform this one. Name into 5 if I do, I'll get the list got repeated 5 times. Name, if I do name into 2, it will get repeated twice like this. So this is the concatenation. We did traversing, concatenation operation, then repetition operation, traversing I taught you, joining or the concatenation we did. Now let's see repeating or replicating list. How we can replicate? We did this with the help of the asterisk symbol. Then slicing of the list, start, stop, or the actual index. It is as same as I taught you in string. That's why I won't be repeating it. Now we will study list manipulation in depth. So I'll exit it once. No, there's no need to exit because okay. So the very first is whenever after like I'll close this and I'll open one fresh more. We will create an element, an empty list. Okay. Now what? The very first thing is you want to add an element. How you can do so? You can do this. You can call this method this dot append, and whatever the element you're passing. Let's say I want this whole as an element will get uh, passed at the index which is available. Now if I print list now, I'll print list once more before appending and I run this. Let me open the terminal. New terminal. Let's delete this. I think so. Hmm. So here you can see it is an empty list when we are calling it, and this after appending, I'm getting Rishabh as a whole. Now, one interesting thing I want to teach you that whenever I'm accessing after appending, when I'm accessing the zeroth index element, I'm dealing with a string. So can I deal with the inner element also? Yes, you can do so. So let's say I want to print Rishabh in backwards. So how will you do it? First, you will access the zeroth element of the list, which is my name. Then I'll use this thing. Now, if I run this, here you will see instead of getting a list, we are getting a string because when we did this thing, we did what? We access the zeroth element, the zeroth position element of the list named LST, which was storing my name as a whole character as a string. So we till uh, after this we were dealing with string and we reversed it. That's why we got my name printed in reverse. Now let's say I want to make it uppercase. I'll do upper. If I rerun this, Rishabh, but all uppercase. Like this, you can do it. Now we learned how we can append elements. Now let's say you want to replace an element. So you can do that also. You just write the index name and you write whatever you want. I want my full name. So if I print the index again, now here you can see, okay, I'll remove this and I'll print it here and let's rerun this. You can observe before appending, there was an empty list. After appending, Rishabh was there. But after doing updating it, the new value got updated. So it is the same list, LST. There's no new list being generated. All the changes are happening is in place changes. So now how you can delete it? So you can use the del statement, which is like this. So del, then we have LST. So whatever, like for now, I want to you delete the zeroth index element because I don't have anything else. I'll do this and I'll print this. If I run this, voila, the zeroth index element got removed. If I have a longer list, now what have I done? Here you can see that I was printing. I appended five elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the list. Later on, I printed it. That's why we got this output. Later on, with the del statement, I did this list 0 to third, which is zeroth element, first element, and second, and like this. So there were three elements in total which were being covered. So these elements got removed with the del statement. So you can use this to delete element from a list. So we learned how we can create list, how we can add elements to it, how we can update those elements, and then how we can delete it. Now we will learn how we can make a true copy of a list. So whenever you want to make a true copy of list, I have already taught you this earlier. 1, comma 2, comma 3. List 1. If I do print list 1, it will print 1, 2, 3, this list only. But if I do list 1 dot append 4, and if I print list only, what are we gonna see? We gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4. Why we are seeing this? Because whenever we do this thing with the help of assignment operator, we are creating a true copy of a list. So this variable and this variable, they both are looking up to the same data, exactly the same memory location. So that's why all the changes made in this and this will be get reflected. So so this is how we can use it. I taught you pop function also. Del method, pop function, then append, and with the help of assignment operator, how you can add elements and so on. Now we will move toward the function, different list functions which we have. Python gives us many built-in functions. So the syntax is like this: list object name. So this is a placeholder basically. I'm using these angle symbol as a placeholder. Then the method name, and after that the parenthesis. This is how we will call a method. The very first is the index method, so which is being used to find the index of an element. Let's say I want to find the index of the. For now, we'll use REPL mode so that it will be quick. Okay, here you can see. Sorry. So I'll create a list L1 with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So if I want to find the index, so I will do L dot find, and I'll not L dot find, L dot index I'll do, and I'll pass 3 to find the index of the element 3. So here you can see it is on 0, 1, 2. If I do L of 2, here you can see it is giving 3, which is the index. So whenever you see there are multiple index, it will give the most left index. So let's say when I create, it is having 1 comma 1 comma 1 only, like this. When I do L1 dot find 1, so it will give me 0. It is showing an error which is attribute error, has no attribute find. We need to do index now. What am I doing? Okay, so we'll do index, and if I do so, it will give us 0. If I do something like anything else, it will give us -1. No, no, no. It is not giving us -1. It is giving value error. 5 is not a list. So I got confused because whenever we create any searching algorithm, whenever the element is not present, we generally return -1 so that the user get to know, okay, there is no element present. In C programming or C++, there is no concept of negative indexing. That's why. But Python is beautiful. It allows us to deal with elements with two-way indexing. So that's how you should. You should keep it this in mind. And then we have, I told you already, append. Now, whenever you want to do to add in place any other list, you can use extend. So if I do this and I call L, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and L1 L1 got joined within the L. Before L1 was L was what? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can use this function extend method to add anything. Now we also have insert method. Insert method allow us to give a particular position whenever you want to insert an element. Whenever you will be studying C programming or C++, you will see that we have to manually manipulate the whole array, but Python makes your work much easy. You just call the function, call the method, your work is done. Enjoy your life. So whenever you want to insert an element at certain position, you will use insert method. So L dot insert then the position. So let's say I want to zero index and I want my name only. If I do so and I call L, you can see it got inserted. Now we have pop. By default, it removes the last index. But whenever you want to remove a certain index, let's say I want to remove this one. So L dot pop, and if you do one, it will do what? It will remove the first index element and it will return that element also. Now if I do it again, I'll get two because after getting this removed, this was zeroth index, this became the first index. That's why we got two. Now our expected list remaining is Rishabh 3, 4, 5, 6, and the remaining ones. So if I call L, then you can see Rishabh 3, 4, 5, 6 as I told you. Then we have the remove method. The remove method, it removes the first occurrence of any given item. So let's say we have many uh, one remaining. If I do L dot remove one, here you see the count, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 counts. I have one. If I use remove and I call L1, not L1 but L, here you will see the count got reduced by 1 because this got removed. So this is how. Now you should keep this in mind that whenever we use remove function, a remove method, so it does what? It removes the first occurrence only, not the whole thing. So this thing got removed, not this one, not from the last. It starts searching from left and try to remove. Now we are done with this. Now let's do what? Then we have clear. So whenever you want to remove all the elements, you can use L dot clear and voila, the list got emptied. Now let's append again few values. A, B, and C. These are three values in it. Now if you want to count how many elements are there, you can use L dot count and voila, you will get not the like this, but need to pass what you are want to count. So right now only one A is there. If I do append it twice, now I do this, I get 2. If no element is there, like small a is not there, 0 is will be the output. Then you can also use this len function. It is returning length 4 because there are 4 elements. Then whenever you want to do in place reversing, you can use the reverse method like this. So it will become ACBA. And whenever you want to extract reverse list without doing in place changes, you can use this slicing method. Yeah, so now there is also a thing called sort. So when you do L dot sort, when you call sort method, it will sort all the elements on the basis of their ASCII ranking and actual numeric value they hold. So you can use sort also. So sort is in place changes. Now you can see AABC is there. So that's it for list. These much concepts are enough. Now we will move towards tuples. So tuple is also a data type, but the thing is that tuple are not mutable. You can't do in place changes. They're exactly like list, but you can't do in place changes. For that, you you need to create another tuple, store that value, then put that value in another tuple. You can't do in place changes in any tuple. That's the strong rule you should keep in your mind. Now, so now let's get started with tuple because tuple is very much like the list, so it won't take much of a time. The very first thing is it is immutable. It's also two-way index. It start from 0 until n minus 1, where n is the length. To find length, you can use len function. And how you can create a tuple, you can use parentheses like this, and it will get created. So let's say I'll EMA and I do this and I do type of T, you can see tuple. But one thing you need to keep in your mind that whenever you're creating a single element tuple, you can't do this like you have to do a, you can't do this simply. If you will do so, whatever element you are passing, it will be treated as a one. It will get evaluated. To keep that in your mind, it will be treated as a single element because parentheses will get evaluated. So for to avoid this, what we do, okay, I'll do this. Here you can see it is not showing within the parentheses. So for that, what you have to do, you have to do T1, then parentheses 1, and then one single comma for single elements only. This is one exception you should keep you should keep in your mind that whenever you're dealing with it, you have to do so. Now, this is what we'll be doing for single element tuple. Whenever you are dealing with multiple tuples, multiple elements, you can do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and so on. Now, this is how you can create multiple elements tuple. You will create a single element, three elements tuple 1, 2, and 3. Now, there is a concept of unpacking in tuple. You can extract elements back to variable. So, I'll create A, comma, B, comma, C is equals to T3. If I do so and I run, if I call A will get the value of the 0th index element. Likewise, B will get 2 and 3. So, this is how they work. So, you can unpack tuple like this. Then the methods are same. Length is there, len is there. Then there are two another functions which I forgot to tell you in list. There is a function called max and min. So these tell what maximum highest value holding value within a list or a tuple. It gives us that. So for now, if I run this in tuple, the highest element was 3, so I got 3. Minimum if I do, it will give me 1. Like this, max min is there. Then the index count and tuple function, the behavior remains the same. This was for tuple. If you have any further query, put it in the comment section. I'll try to give the resolution for it. Now, that's it for today's lecture. We will start dictionaries and will end with functions, and I'll share the all those 10 projects which I have created for you so that you can read them, learn them, and whatever doubts you have, uh, share it with me. I'll give you all the solutions and resources which is required. So not much is being left. We are almost done with it. Now let's wrap today's lecture. In today's lecture, we covered list, started with string, then we covered list, then we ended with tuple. So keep learning, keep growing. And that's it for today's lecture. Bye bye.